the things that I do address, especially when I'm meeting with people that have met with a financial advisor, are the differences between an irrevocable trust and a revocable trust. Financial advisors like to address the issue of long-term care planning and perhaps the Medicare look-back period, and as they should be addressing those things. You should talk about those things with your attorney as well, because there are definitely some things that can be done to make your situation a little bit better. But an irrevocable trust is not always the answer, is how I will put it. Generally, for long-term care planning, I hear a lot about irrevocable trust. That's the answer to long-term planning. It can be the answer to long-term planning because it will allow you to avoid the 5-year Medicare look-back period. However, there are very specific rules about the irrevocable trust. For instance, you basically have to give up all of your assets and you no longer have control over them. And the person who does have control over them, the trustee, has to be someone that's not related to you. And then you're only able to access a certain amount, which is allowed by the Medicare rules. A lot of people don't know that going into it, and they need to be aware of that. And most people, when I tell them those specific facts about the irrevocable trust, it's not really a good option for them. And the reason it's not usually a good option is because they need to be able to get to that money if something happens. They don't want to give up control over all of the money that they worked, their entire lives for. So
I've heard a misconception, and I actually got the answer. People assume that a revocable trust will protect their assets from nursing home.
A revocable trust absolutely will not protect you from the Medicare rules. If you put your assets in a revocable trust, it's not going to do anything in terms of long-term care planning. If you were to go into a nursing home and you had your assets in a revocable trust, Medicare will say you need to sell these items, you need to liquidate these assets so that you can pay for this, and it will not protect you. Medicare writes the rules so that you have to give those assets up, basically. And so in terms of long-term planning, the irrevocable trust will do that, but as I said, there are definitely drawbacks. It's, first of all, by the name of it, it's irrevocable. You can't take it back. So once you give up these assets, you give them to a trustee, and that trustee can only make available to you what's allowed under the Medicare rules.